Hello, friends, and welcome back to this depressing channel where we're going to continue our discussion about some stuff. Now, it's not lost on me that this is effectively me just screaming into the void at this point because, like I said in my last video, I don't really like social media, don't really use social media, don't really plan to use social media, and yet here I am using social media. So I'm just doing this more because I don't know, I just got to get it out there. I just got to scream into the void, even though I understand that no one's ever going to watch these videos. That's okay. I just have to document my words somewhere. I got to just put shit out there. Anyway, let's get into the topic of this video, which is just to continue our discussion on society. And in this, I think we'll get a little bit more into artificial intelligence because it's going to be bad. Unless we make it not bad. Now, it's all built on, it's having trouble becoming better, basically, than it is. And so we're putting a ton of fucking money into this and not really getting a big return at the moment. And so that's what the AI bubble is about, is that there's just a lot of money going into this. And at some point, we're going to need to see some return on our investment because there's been a ton of money put into data centers and just the technology that goes into actually making these things, making LLMs and training them. It takes a long time, takes a lot of electricity, it takes a lot of money, and that's just kind of how it works, unfortunately. So even if AI stays at its current place, its effect on society is just like monumentally bad overall. Like it has very, very good things that it can do. It's very useful. Like I said in my other video, I use it for work. So it's like, it's useful for certain things, but it's really, really, really useful for creating propaganda. And because everybody uses social media now to like get all their information, yeah, it's really, really easy to create fake stuff with it. And that's the problem. So I think whether or not this bubble pops, which it will, what we currently have the ability to create with AI and the way that it interfaces with the internet and how it can be used in social media, just the way you can use it. Yeah. Even if you decide, okay, everything collapsed, you have to pay us $1,000 a month to have access to this software, to have access to ChatGPT or something like that. There's going to be companies that pay for that still. There's going to be people that pay for that still. Just understand that this is going to fundamentally change our society in ways that we don't fully understand yet. Generally speaking, when new technology emerges, what happens with it? It becomes weaponized, and that's going to be no different. On top of that, you can use AI-powered, like AI-controlled things, like drones and stuff. So, yeah, the technology behind AI is really what matters. It's not the AI itself. So, like, whether or not economy just fucking implodes, the technology is there, and we know how it works. We know how to build it now, and we know its capabilities. It's not like it's just going to go away once the bubble pops, is I guess my point. There's definitely a bigger problem with this whole concept, which is that you cannot have democracies and artificial intelligence that isn't regulated. You just can't. We should probably think on that a little bit. So let's imagine a theoretical world where a bunch of corporations control AI systems. Oh wait, that's not a theoretical world. When I sit and I think, what is the end goal? When we look at history and we look at the current day, there's some similarities that we can find. In a lot of cases, in almost every case, there is some sort of ruling class that is very rich, and then there's everyone else. That's pretty much how it's been throughout history. And humanity went through somewhat of an enlightenment and deciding that people deserved dignity. You know, we didn't need to be ruled by monarchs. We didn't like that these very rich people were making all these rules and basically just making everyone's lives really shitty. And this cycle just repeats over and over and over forever, basically. We create structures within our societies for whatever reason. We create these structures where we have people that we place into positions of power to then govern everybody else. Now, this is, I don't know how we got there. I'm sure this has been studied by countless individuals that are much smarter than I am, but we run into this issue with human nature where we have people at the top and then people underneath them, where people at the top have a lot of money and they have a lot of power because they have a lot of money, because we have economic structures. But at the end of the day, it's just the people with the most money that can decide like what really happens. And that's completely unchanged in today's world. Now, I currently live in the United States, where we have some pretty rich people, and a lot of countries have similar things going on. Like China has some really, really rich people. Russia, for sure, has some really, really rich people. And it's not exclusive to those areas. You know, Japan has some really rich people. There's some really, really rich people. But in this country specifically, there's a lot of really rich people. The way that our system is set up is it's very beneficial for people that have a lot of money. So that's the long and short of it. And so that's why you see a lot of companies, at least historically, have come to this country to try to invest in the United States to do things like that because they benefit from it. And so skipping over all the important stuff, you basically just have an influx of money coming into the country, and that creates some really rich people from different corporations. That's kind of the gist of it, and that's how it's been forever. There's always been really rich people kind of controlling everybody else. And the really rich people nowadays, at least in this country, are able to pay lobbyists to basically make it so that the government does whatever they want. And so the point that I'm getting to right here is that in the future, if this continues on this trend where corporations just have more and more power and more influence and more money, they're just going to own the government. The government will basically just place people in power that are from organizations like that serve like corporate interests. And with AI, it's going to be very easy to basically just create propaganda that's going to keep people like in line. Now, obviously, people have to eat, so we're going to have to figure that out. When it comes to being like complacent with the environment that you live in, with understanding history, like this has been written about in books, which is fucking scary because these books are ones that I had to read in school, and I'm like, yeah, like that's a dystopian future, but it's like we're not headed toward that. Like, look at all these scientific things we're doing. Like, we've got this awesome country, like we're the shining star of the world right now at that time, and we've got all these good things going on. But underneath the surface, things that I was naive to, you know, as I'm in high school and stuff, you know, being a kid, fucking around, was that it was really never like that. We were always kind of heading toward a worse future because regulations and things became more and more lax, and we had laws and rulings put in place that gave corporations a lot more power. And so at some point along the way, we reached some kind of tipping point. I'm not really sure where that tipping point was, but we've surpassed it at this point. You know, bells can't be unrung, as they say. And so I want you to ask yourself, when has a corporation ever, I'm going to just say ever, when has a corporation ever sincerely had its customers' good interests in mind, especially ones as powerful as things like Facebook? So I want you to imagine a future where corporations basically control the government, and where the government really only does things in the corporate interests. Now, this government technically is a democracy. You're able to vote and elect your representatives into office, but those representatives are backed by corporations. Not all of them, to be clear, but most of them, we'll say. It's not really a partisan thing. It's just how our political system here works. A lot of them are basically just paid off, and it's legal. I'm not going to get into the politics of things, but that is just kind of how it works. You can take a bunch of corporate donations, either party, any party, doesn't matter. You can have like a random third party or whatever, and you can get corporate donations pretty much infinitely. Now, corporations control media. It's just like when you have like a bunch of corporations like overseeing everything and paying off all the people that are supposed to be representing you, but like the corporations are actually up here. Even when you try to like come up from the bottom and you try to like claw your way out of the hole, they can just smother you. That is actually not the future. That's the society that we currently live in. Now, it's not that extreme yet. Now, it's getting there, but it's not quite that extreme yet. But the problem soon becomes, which of these people that I see like on any of these social media platforms are actually real? How do I know it's somebody's opinion based on informed information that they've gotten through whatever sources they got through? How do I know it's not that and it's actually some AI thing? Right now we know, or we can figure it out, but it's not going to be easy in the future. And this all serves an interest of some kind because rich people always want to keep the poor people poor. Because what happens when the poor people stop being okay with their situation? Every single time in history, what has happened? I'm going to let you answer that question. Things just aren't any different nowadays. I've said this forever, basically, which is that the level that our technology increases, it's at an exponential rate, more or less, because of Moore's law. But it's basically the concept that our computing power can double every 18 months or so. The amount of technology that we've created in the last, call it 300 years, is insane compared to the amount of technology from like 3,000 years ago up until the current point. Like, it's literally like this for fucking 3,000 years, and then it's like this. The way that we socialize, the way that our brains function, the way that like we're wired, that evolves much more slowly. we're not really any different than taking like an ancient Egyptian as like a baby and just like teleporting them to now and raising them. They would just be like, oh, this is like normal stuff. Like our brains are the same. Like our societal structures are being like rattled due to technology, in addition to the structures that have always been there, which is that rich people need to control poor people. And I really think that we might get to a bad point because it's like I said, with AI and stuff, with internet being social media, and that's just how everybody gets information now. It's reaching like this precipice, something like that. It's reaching this pinnacle where I don't know if we can actually come back from it, at least not for a very, very long time. Like, I just don't see a positive future happening no matter what. And obviously, I'm a little biased because of where I live. This country specifically is, it's got, every country's got its problems, but we're the central hub of all these new technologies and stuff. So like it kind of starts here, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just, I don't know, man. Plus you have other countries that like want to dominate the world, like China, Russia. They want to do what they can to also try to become the main player on the world stage. And so you just have all this fucking bullshit that's just constantly swirling around and nothing ever changes. And then you have AI and you have social media and everybody gets their information from one source. And it's just like, oh my fucking God, we are so fucked. Did you guys see that video recently of Neil deGrasse Tyson? It was an AI video. But it's a video of him saying that the earth is flat. He like shows it on his Star Talk podcast and he's like, this is not me. We're fucked. At least right now. I mean, it's going to take a long time to get unfucked. And at some point, when AI becomes really, really good, what are we going to do? If nobody has jobs, I guess we'll have to have UBI or something, right? I always thought that we were heading toward a society, like when I was younger and naive, I always thought we were headed toward a society that had like advanced technology and like a more advanced culture and a more advanced society. Things became easier to create. And so over time, people had to work less and less and they had more free time to study things and do art and do their hobbies and things like that. It's like literally the exact opposite. People have to work a lot harder than they used to. Talking like maybe 40 years ago or so ish. People generally have to work a lot harder than they used to get like not even the same amount. Despite all of the increases in our efficiency for manufacturing, for just development, for like literally every facet of human industry and civilization, we've made it improvements on all of it. Yet things somehow seem to have gotten worse. And when you just follow the money, it's pretty fucking obvious, man. Like, rich people just need to be in power all the time. They accumulate power, they accumulate wealth, and they dominate other people until they stop. And then because people tend to stop them, and then the cycle repeats. So I don't know what that means with AI. Now, a lot of people don't think that AI is going to become crazy, crazy good. Some of the experts think that it's the last invention that we'll make, like superintelligence, that is. So that's an entire other topic that I don't know if I really have the knowledge to speak on. There's some opinion, in these videos, based on the knowledge that I have on certain topics. So I don't know that much about AI, but I do know that it's not going to be good if we create superintelligence. We need to regulate it, man. But there's experts on AI, people from the start who have been, and not even just one of them. There's multiple who are like, this is a problem if we actually create this. But you got people that say the opposite. It's just, we don't know. And we're not taking it seriously enough from like an R&D perspective. Because like, we don't understand how it works at this point. Like the really, really advanced language models, they just like do things that we don't understand. What? Like, why? Why are we doing this? We've always worked toward a society that's solved problems and made life better for people. And it's like, great, now you have TVs and you have the internet. And so you're just stuck at home and you have to work like crazy to come home to your TV and your internet. Like, it's a fallacy to think that we have more freedom than we did just simply because of like monetary reasons. Like, when you have more money, you have more freedom, and we just don't have it. Society is a lot more hollow because all we do is work and come home to like our amenities, our comforts. But that's no different like than what people had in the past. They would have their amenities and they would have their comforts. We just have technology now, so it's like maybe they're more entertaining than they would have been in the past. But like, you just replace one thing with another. You're just like replacing kicking a ball around a field with like watching TV. It's just like the thing you do in your free time because our brains just need to do shit all the time. They need to be like occupied with things. And it's just like hollows people out, man. I don't know. And then we start talking about what happens in the actual future. How many of you guys have been able to save money? Probably not very many of you. And even if you have, how much do you have right now? Do you really think that by the time that you're 65 or whatever, that you're actually going to be able to retire on that? Do you think you're going to be able to put money away often enough to be able to do that? Maybe some of you, but the majority will not be able to. And so, yeah, we're just like headed toward this world that we were never supposed to head to. Like we're just headed off a fucking cliff. And it's just because you have too many rich people and not enough regular people. You have too many rich people and too many poor people. Things feel pretty top heavy in terms of like the economy and how much money is like up in within corporations that are like worth billions and trillions and crazy amounts of money. If some of that could like not be there through like taxation and stuff and go to like other things like making the roads in this country and like not fucking terrible, something like that, cool things like that, that'd probably be better overall for society. And then through things like social programs like making education free or something, or very, very cheap, people wouldn't have to spend money on that, and so they could spend it on other things in the economy, and like buy houses and stuff, be able to save money, things like that, so that you're not spending it on that kind of other shit. I think that would just be better for society as a whole. Historically speaking, poor people have always been like education has always been expensive, and you couldn't get it. That changed with the printing press, and so you could have populations that were a lot more educated. But that's also part of the reason why, like, in this country, slaves weren't allowed to, like, learn to read and write and stuff, is because education is power. The more knowledge that you have, the more powerful you are, frankly. So the less you know, the less powerful you are. And so it behooves corporations and other rich people to make people that aren't those things less powerful. So society just sucks, and we're headed toward even worse one. Whether or not social media happens more, I don't even know what that means. Everything's fucked. How are you going to save money for the future? How are you going to afford a home? How are you going to afford really high healthcare costs if something bad happens? Somebody like randomly fucking smashes into the back of your car and like hurts your back. How are you going to pay for that? I guess they would cover, some of their insurance would cover it, but like sometimes it doesn't cover all of it. Like everything is just needlessly expensive and shitty. And of course it is, because the people that make things happen are super rich. They can just do whatever the fuck they want, and you're going to have to eat their shit. Society was supposed to just be so much better than this, dude. Like so much better than this, especially with like the technology and stuff that we have now. Like our level of understanding of like science, like it's just insane, the things that we can create. Do you have any fucking idea how your phone works? Do you have any idea how the chip in your phone is created? Yeah. And people think the earth is fucking flat, and we know how to fucking use photolithography machines to create microscopic, like, anyway, we're basically on the verge of creating actual fusion. Like we were able to create more power like 2 years ago or last year or something. Like it was the first time in history we were ever able to do something like that. Like society was supposed to be better, man. And it's just fucking worse in every possible fucking way. And I wish I was one of those people that had like answers to these kinds of things instead of just complaining about shit. But unfortunately, you're on the wrong channel because I don't have a good answer for it. Obviously, AI needs to be regulated. Like that just needs to happen, or just banned, or like something needs to be like there needs to be a disclaimer on like everything that's AI generated, that it's AI generated, and it's like very clear somehow. There needs to be something. Social media is just bad for your fucking brain. What do we do about that? I don't know. I mean, people should be able to do what they want. Like if they want to use social media, then fine. I'm not against that. But it's like I'm also not against people doing like meth and crack and stuff. It's like if you want to do that, go for it, Dan. Like, it's not for me, and I don't want that anywhere near me. But like, you do you, bro. Just don't get into a car and don't hurt anyone else, and you're cool. It's like the same thing. It's like if you want to use social media, cool. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like, is that really the mindset that we are supposed to have? Because it's like serious. Like it's serious. Like is that the mindset that we should have? Is just, oh, we just can't do anything because freedom. And like, I don't think that that's the right answer. But I also don't think you just straight up ban it. Like, I don't know. Because there's so much good that it does. There is so much good that it does. That's something I haven't really said, is that it does a lot of good. It's just that it does a lot of bad. And if something does a lot of good, but also does a lot of bad, it's just not good overall. This is a terrible analogy, but if I was like, hey, I'm going to give you this remedy that like, my arm got blown off in a war. I'm going to give you this remedy that regrows your arm, but it takes away your leg. It's like, I mean, it's good for the arm. That's great. But like, it's not great for the leg. So like, no, but kinda yes, because I can't write, but, like, I also wanna be able to walk. What do I do? Like, is that a bad analogy? Probably, but it's like, there's a lot of good, but there's also just a lot of bad, and then you have AI, and you're like, "Oh my god, nothing's real." I just get totally off topic when I'm making these videos. I just sit here for, like, a while, and I just start fucking rambling, and then I, like, put it all together into cohesive thoughts. Alright, I guess I'm done for now. Social media needs to change. AI needs to be regulated. Billionaires and trillionaires shouldn't exist, probably, or they should be regulated somehow. Corporations suck ass, and the world's fucked. But you know what I'm gonna do? For all of those who are no longer watching this video, I'm gonna make a positive video next. I think it'll be fun. So I'm done talking, alright? Everything sucks. Have a nice day.